I'll signal you when you come in. Everybody close your eyes for a minute. Take a deep breath. Okay, here we go. I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. Just keep doing that with me. I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. Ave Maria, Kyrie eleison. You keep singing, I am the heart. I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. Ave Maria, Kyrie eleison. I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. Ave Maria, Kyrie eleison. I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God.
Thank you, Sharon. Good morning, everyone. It's still morning. Happy Earth Week. We had Earth Day this week, and we're celebrating that here today. So happy you're all here, those of you in the room and those of you who are with us on Zoom. And I'm feeling the sacredness of the oneness that Sharon was talking about, because when we think about caring for the earth and loving the earth, I think of being one with all that is, with nature. So we're going to explore that a little bit today in our hearts. So thank you for being here. And could somebody close that door back there, please? Yeah, thank you. And Jason, you're up. You can do either one at the front. You can do both one and after the other.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Beautiful day it is. Thank you, Sharon. That was so sweet. All right. We're going to start with the blessing of the new visitors. So if you're here for the first time, we'll just ask you to kindly stand up. And for the people on Zoom, this blessing is for you as well if it's your first time checking in. Okay, a bunch of veterans here. All right. We'll just, yeah, we'll bless each other.
Those of you on Zoom as well. We're all here together as one.
Absolutely. Okay, welcome to the Center for Conscious Living.
Welcome to the Center for Conscious Living.
We are a heart-centered spiritual community.
We are a heart-centered spiritual community.
We open ourselves to you in love.
We open ourselves to you in love.
We recognize the perfection of God within you.
We recognize the perfection of God within you.
We celebrate the joyous being that you are.
We celebrate the joyous being that you are.
You are a radiant point of light.
You are radiant points of light.
And we are blessed by your presence.
And we are blessed by your presence.
Welcome home.
Welcome home.
Thank you, everyone.
You can go right into the universal prayer.
Oh, you all right? Cool.
You can do. Yeah, I know, I mixed up the order.
All right,
Just
cool.
do this.
All right. We're going to jump right into the universal prayer. All right, so if everyone will just repeat after me. I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and peace.
I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and peace.
I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and joy.
I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and joy.
I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and complete health.
I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and complete health.
I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and abundance.
I open my heart to the universe, accepting love and abundance.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you.
I wrote this song on a spring equinox. Seemed fitting for today. On a full moon, under the watchful eye, on the back of the mother, on a clear night, the drums as we sway call for the day of oneness. Under a starfall, here in the hand of God, a sky-drunk lover and a tree that nods. Listen and moan and sing us home in the oneness. Dreamers, dreamers a dream to bring our wandering home and sing us the end of the years we spent in our hearts unknown. Under a late sun, lit by clouds of rose, we soar when we flutter in the afterglow. We're lifted by wings whose shadow will bring us to the oneness. Dreamer, dreamers a dream to bring our wandering home. As here by the fire, we raise our desire that this great love be known. Ooh. on a full moon, under the watchful eye, on the back of the mother, on a clear night. The drums as we pray call for the day of oneness. The drums as we pray call for the day of oneness.
So we have a brief presentation about Earth Day coming up. Jason, do you have the,
Thank you. Look who's walking in. This is why we have Earth Day, for these lovely young people that are just walking in the door. So this is Earth Week, and Marty is going to give you a little bit of context, and I'll tell you a little bit of history about Earth Week and what we can do.
So let's see if I can read this. My eyes are not feeling so good this morning. Okay, here we go. Every faith tradition on earth calls us in some way to create heaven on earth, a world in which everyone can breathe clean air, drink clean water, be healthy, and find work that provides for their families. Heaven on earth is not a world of luxury for some. It is a world of dignity for all, and the path that world runs directly through the energy choices we make together. And as you know, we're promoting a community solar project, and those of you who've been here for a while know that we started just about a year ago, and so the opportunity to sign up and get the discounts and the benefits for CCL ends this coming Friday. So if you've been sitting on the fence, if you haven't moved forward with that, I completely encourage you to take action this week. I have the information in the back, and I'll be glad to share it with you. So across the world, environmental ethics are deeply rooted in principles of stewardship, interconnectedness, and the relationship of responsible use of creation. Our scriptures, teachings, and traditions provide strong theological and scriptural foundation for favoring renewable energy and rejecting the practices that lead to environmental devastation. And now June will tell us a little bit about the history of Earth Day.
So it's actually Earth Week now, and some people call it Earth Month. Maybe it's Earth Forever. But we're celebrating today the Earth Week. It's the, excuse me, the 57th anniversary of Earth Day. It started in 1970. And how it came to pass is in the 60s, the late 50s and the 60s, there were quite a number of huge environmental disasters around the world, and especially here in the United States. What was one of the triggers was a fire in a river in Ohio, the Cuyahoga, I never could pronounce it, river in Ohio, had been polluted by, refuse from chemical plants and oil spills. And in 1969, the river caught on fire. Quite an amazing thing. And they couldn't put it out, the river, the water that we live on. Following that, in 1969, in Santa Barbara, off the coast of Santa Barbara, there was the largest oil spill that the United States had ever experienced. I was there at the time. An oil well sprung a huge leak in the channel off the coast, and before it was finally sealed, over 35 Olympic swimming pool size of oil washed up on the beaches and covered the channels and the Pacific Ocean. And the waves would come lapping in, oil, 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 the Pacific, if you can imagine that. Before it was over, 9,000 birds and sea creatures were coated with oil and washed up on the beaches, dead. And I was part of a group at that time called GOO, Get the Oil Out. And that was just the start of the student revolution for environment. Following that, a bunch of bipartisan actions happened in Congress, which is kind of amazing, where the Republicans, the Independents, and the Democrats all came together to pass super legislation, the Clean Air Act, Clean Water Act, and they started Earth Day in 1970. The first Earth Day was April 22nd, 1970, 57 years ago. So we're continuing to celebrate it. The first year, there were 2 million people in the United States who went out and did teach-ins and all kinds of actions. And it continues today. It's now global. And there are over 1 billion people that celebrate or commemorate Earth Day around the world now. It's more important than ever. A lot of that legislation is being diminished right now. So more than ever, we are needed to continue this action of acknowledging our sacred earth and the care that we hold for each other on this planet.
Thanks.
Can you see? Just gonna talk about.
So, as you're probably aware, there are a number of environmental challenges that we're facing. One of the bills that is up for discussion, at least in our local state, is something called the Green Amendment. And the Green Amendment focuses on providing clean air, clean water, and a clean environment for all people, current and future generations. It's already passed in 3 other states, and New Jersey is moving forward with it, but very slowly. So there's an organization called For the Generations. You can look them up online. They're the main force behind creating this Green Amendment. And the reason it being an amendment is so important is because then it will be at a much higher level than just a single law as far as protecting the environment is concerned. So we invite you to join us in supporting that. And one of the ways that you can do that is become active in our Green Faith Group. Our Green Faith Group has been active for the past 7 years here in this part of New Jersey, and we're part of a coalition of 19 different faith communities, and June and I are very active in that group, and we'd be happy to have you join us. Some of you have attended one or more of their meetings. We meet at a local church nearby, also a Lutheran church, it happens, the Prince of Peace Lutheran Church in Marlton, normally on the 3rd Sunday of each month. So, and we have a big event coming up on the 4th Sunday in June, and we invite you to come. We're going to have a number of amazing guest speakers there, and we'd love to have you join us. So, also in the back, I have a game. Last week, June and I and folks from Green Faith participated in an Earth Fair in Marlton, and we brought a game that focuses on protecting the environment by not wasting water. So after services today, if you want to come up and try the game and see how much you know about protecting water, we'd be happy to work with you on that. We have a series of questions that we'll be glad to share with you. So again, thanks for this opportunity to share about Earth Day, and we invite you to think about what you can do to help protect the Earth. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, June and Marty. CCL is also a member of the Green Faith community. So, part of it. Charter members. We're charter members. So, thank you for educating us about the origins of Earth Day. Okay. I think it would be nice for all of us to just take a moment and just breathe and just feel the stillness of all that is. Okay, so we're going to move into the next part of our service, and I invite Jody and Arlen to come up. They'll be reading for us today. Thank you.
Good morning. Today's reading is entitled Creating Heaven on Earth. It's from The Undefended Self, Living the Pathwork of Spiritual Wholeness by Susan Thisenga. The possibility calls out to us to re-inhabit ourselves and our planet in an entirely new way. We are called not only to know ourselves as children of God, but to know God within ourselves. We can re-enter the Garden of Eden, this innately gorgeous planet we call home, not as dependent or rebellious children, not as conquerors or victims, but as co-creators of love, beauty, and harmony. When we begin to awaken to our true nature as divine beings, we will treat ourselves, other humans, and the non-human world with infinite respect and caring. We will know that love is our true home, not feared or hatred, that creation is our destiny and cooperation is our natural mode. We will find our unique place in the web of creation and let go of our egotistic defenses of pride, self-will, fear, and separateness. However, in order to awaken to this deeper faith in ourselves, we also need to wake up to the temporary reality of our lower self, which fears and denies our essential divinity. Though we fundamentally want to love others and to enjoy our connection with all of life, we have gotten sidetracked into believing that instant gratification of our self-will and our pride will bring us happiness. We have forgotten our deservingness and lost our connection with the whole. Once we acknowledge the deeper inner parts of ourselves, our shadow selves, we can wake up to it as an illusion. It can be transformed. We can reclaim its creative vitality and let go of its limitations.
We can remember who we are and what all human beings know in their hearts, that we are each enough as we are, that we are each ultimately good and connected deeply to all life, that we have within us all that we need to make us happy, that we are lovable and capable of loving others, that the most pleasurable way to live on the planet is in a community of nourishing, supportive relationships, that we are capable of deep intimacy with a primary other, that we can find friends who will support us on our path of spiritual and emotional growth, that we can find our true work in the world, which each of us is uniquely called to give, and that meets our real needs, that we can find our right place to live, our grounding on this planet, that ultimately this is a benign universe, that there is order and meaning to our lives which we can uncover gradually from within ourselves, that the process of facing and accepting all of our inner selves will bring peace, love, harmony, happiness, and fulfillment in our lives.
As we drop our defenses and embrace all of who we are, We come to know our true identity as God-inspired beings. We embrace our free will and choose harmony, love, and respect over divisiveness, fear, and destruction. We choose connection and individuation rather than separation or self-denial. We hear the call to fulfill a vision of harmony on earth. We know the longing. We attune ourselves to create from love and trust, even as we stay awake to the limitations intrinsic to the human condition in its present state of evolution. We open to and affirm the best in ourselves and our fellow humans. We work to transform the worst in ourselves and support our fellow humans in doing the same. And we keep alive the vision of creating heaven on earth, of entering the new Eden of awakened consciousness.
Thank you so much.
Do you hear this guitar? It sounds a lot quieter than it was. Thank you. One power, one power, one power. There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth. It's as simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angel's wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. It's one power, one power, one power. We speak so many languages, different clothing, different colors, different names. All but difference only dangerous when we forget that in the heart we're all the same. We'll remember once we close our eyes to see that such distances were never meant to be. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, Hashem, or heaven's door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul, or it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth or Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, one power, one power, one power, one power, one power. It's the moment of creation. It's the everlasting peace. It's the freedom of forgiveness. It's the sweetness of release. It's the joy of inspiration. It's the sunshine on your face. It's the birthright of all nations. It's the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of a baby, the serenity of sleep. It's the anger we abandon for its love that's most deep. It's one power, one power. What we are is one power. Oh, it's the power of the love that lives forever in you and me. It's the power of the love in you and me.
Thank you, Sharon. So, it's the power of love in you and me. That's everything, isn't it? When I was thinking about Earth Day this week, and Earth Week, and Earth everything, that reading that we had this morning came into my mind, and two other things came into my mind. And one was the class that I'm facilitating or co-facilitating with Melissa Romero, and there's quite a few of you here today and on Zoom with us who are in that class, but it's really been on my mind what we're doing there and what that has to do with what we're talking about here today. And the other thing that came to my mind was the monks in the Walk for Peace. Remember them? And they are walking again, and they're in Sri Lanka. And in fact, this morning they just finished their walk. And Aloka, the peace dog, is with them. And I thought it was very synchronous that they finished their walk just as we're about to come together here to celebrate Earth Day. And, you know, that reading really talks about what happens inside us, our thoughts, our feelings, our perceptions of the world, how that influences what's happening out in the world, i.e. demonstration, right? The world of form. And that's what we're doing in the class we're in also, as those of you here are realizing. And, you know, as we continue to look less at what's going on outside of us and more at what's happening inside of us, we can actually change our world. And if everyone on this planet did that, what's happening out there would look very different than the way it looks right now, which is many of us feel disturbed by what we're seeing. Rightly so. But in reality, everything that's happening out there is happening in here, if we think about it. You know, and you know, each of us individually may not be in such distress that our internal environment looks like what's happening outside, but collectively, as a human species, that's our consciousness, right? Separation, right? And it's been like that for eons, and there's fluctuations. You know, we go back and forth into peace, and then things start building, and other things happen, right? And, you know, we elect people who have perceptions and ideas that perhaps are contrary to what we feel in our heart, and then we're appalled at what's happening. But we're all in this together, all of us. And, you know, when we think about honoring Mother Earth, and we think about, all the little pieces that go into that, which Marty and June talked about, some of them about, conserving water and about, electricity, power, energy. Or we think about, the animals and the plants that provide sustenance for us and come from the earth, from Mother Nature. When we think about that, what are we doing individually? I went to visit a friend this week, and I pulled into her driveway, and her yard the grass was like this high off the ground. And there were leaves scattered all over the place on her yard, and this was a suburban property, so everyone else's property was nicely manicured. We had a hot spell there, so the grass had been growing, and things were falling off the trees, like flowers that had been expired, and everyone else's property looked manicured. And her property was kind of wild looking. And I went around to the back of the house, and I walked in the back door to visit her, and it was like that in the back too, just leaves from last fall. And I know that she did this on purpose, because in the springtime, all of the insects and the small mammals, they're all nesting and creating and procreating, and we as humans like to have everything nice and neat. And when we clean up our properties at this time of year, we're actually creating chaos and disruption for many of the species that we depend on to live. Insects that are pollinating our flowers and our vegetables for growth. And we don't realize it, we don't even think about it, because our human values are to keep everything nice and neat. I think of that as sort of a disconnection or a separation from oneness. No one anywhere is purposely harming an animal, a small animal, or an insect. We just don't think about it, right? And of course, if we keep our property without mowing it, we need to contend with our neighbors who are not happy about it. And some of us live in HOAs where we're not even allowed to do that. But it is an example of separation, isn't it, from the world that we depend upon. And what does that mean, separation? And when we go back to the reading, she was talking about that our awareness of what's happening inside of ourselves is not one of oneness outside of ourselves. So if I am in full consciousness with all that is, I am in peace and harmony in my heart, in my thoughts, in my feelings, in all of the energetic levels of my presence. When I am in disharmony, we all know what disharmony feels like, don't we? I know what it feels like for me. We need to go down to the emotional level of what's happening inside of us, and this is what we're doing in the class I was referring to. We're actually spending time looking at our thoughts and our feelings, and how many of us are used to doing that? I mean, does anybody in this room just wake up in the morning and think, well, how am I feeling today? I mean, really, what's happening in here? Do I feel angry? Do I feel joyful or happy? Do I feel connected with the other people in my life? Do I feel sadness? What's happening? And if I feel any of those things, because we all feel something, we're feeling, sensing beings, what am I thinking? What's creating that feeling? So, if I'm feeling sadness, am I feeling sad because, I don't know, Maybe my granddaughter didn't get into the kindergarten that I wanted her to get into. So I'm really sad about that, and that's a valid feeling, isn't it? But what if I don't pay attention to that feeling? It's still there, even if I'm not aware of it. And what if I don't pay attention to it, and it's with me all day? Because I didn't put my awareness on it. And I didn't actually acknowledge it and say to myself, oh, wow, I really feel sad that my daughter or my granddaughter, she didn't get into the school I wanted her to get into, or I didn't get the job I wanted to, get that I applied for, or I can't go on that trip I wanted to go because somebody in my family's sick. Whatever it is, life just doesn't always work according to the way we want it to work. If we don't pay attention to what's happening inside of us, it stays with us all day. It may stay with us into the next day, and it colors our perception of the world. It colors our interactions with other people. And I'm a master at that, so I can tell you that right now. And people that know me know that. When I'm joyful and happy, it comes through. It's easy, it flows easily, right? If I'm unhappy, there's an energetic vibration that's very different. And it really is consciousness, it's our consciousness. We're all allowed to have feelings, but do we pay attention to them? Most of us live up here. We have this amazing brain. We have this logical, analytical, powerful brain, and humans have used that brain of ours to get where we are in terms of our civilization and the advancements and the comforts that we have. And also some of the other things that we have, like wars and technology, all kinds of things. We have a lot of tools to help us do a lot of things, but where is our awareness? And I was reading David Hawkins this morning, and I know I talk about him sometimes, but he came up in class again this week. And we're studying the teachings of Abraham, and the teachings of Abraham tell us that if we pay attention to our thoughts and our feelings, and if we're in a place of low frequency vibration, which are the lower self emotions, right? So grief, sadness, shame, all valid emotions, but they're not the kinds of emotions that are going to bring us to a place of manifesting what we want and desire in our life. So we want to place our awareness on our thoughts and our feelings so we can feel them fully. Because that's who we are. We're human beings with thoughts and feelings here on this planet. And then we can move through them into a higher plane of awareness or a higher vibration. That's what Abraham teaches. And when we're in a place of joy and happiness, it's much easier for us to be more fully aligned with the divine within us. And then we open up to divine inspiration, and we get creative ideas. We get divine wisdom coming through. And those creative ideas, that divine wisdom, those nuggets of thought and inspiration, they are from beyond our mind. Right? When I was first offered the opportunity to come into this position, and I think I've shared this here before, I didn't know if I wanted to do it because it wasn't something I had ever planned on. Never saw myself here. So I really had to think about it, but I also had to really sit and ask Spirit, what should I do? And shortly thereafter, I was in a contemplative kind of a place. 2 words came through. No, actually it was 1 word, sorry. 2 words. It was art and it was creativity. 2 words, art, creativity. So art is very expansive, right? Because what came to my mind when art came through was music and the visual arts. That's what came through to me. That's what I thought of. But since I've contemplated on it, it's actually much broader than that because we are all artists in our own life, are we not? Right? So June and Marty are artists in the realm of conserving the earth. But we can all be that. just in the little things we do and how we tend our gardens or how we conserve water, right? How we manage our electricity. There's almost 8 billion people on the planet. If all of us did that, maybe there would be enough for everyone, right? I mean, it's complicated, but everything is consciousness. You know, in reality, there's no such thing as matter. Everything is energy. And we've heard that, but what does that mean? What does that really mean? And what I think it means is that when we put our awareness on something, then that can manifest, or that can change, or that can shift energetically. And when you get down to the sub-microscopic level of matter, there really is no matter. There's just energy. If you look at an electron circles around a nucleus. If you look inside the nucleus, there's really not much there. An electron is pure energy, and electrons have behavior. And if we put our awareness on energy, it can collapse into form. That's a principle of quantum mechanics, it's a branch of physics, that we can put our awareness on something and it shifts and it changes. And that's the basis of Ernest Holmes's teachings, really, of science of mind. That's what creativity is, right? We are so powerful that if I have a desire, and this comes from the Abraham teachings, science of mind, Jesus taught this, it's in all authentic spiritual traditions. If I put my awareness on it, that's where creativity really happens. So I can do it with my conscious mind, and oftentimes it's a struggle because I'm not being guided in how to go about it. So oftentimes I might, take the wrong way or try to make things happen when it isn't the right time or the right people and resources. Maybe they're not in place at that moment, but I keep forcing it and trying to make it happen, like getting that job that maybe isn't there for me at the moment. If I'm in alignment with divine creativity, if I just bring my awareness into alignment, and that's the power of prayer, right? We shift our energy, we shift our awareness, and things start to happen without our doing anything. They just start to happen. So anyway, I said yes to that opportunity, and here I am, and things are happening. There's a lot cooking behind the scenes here at CCL. And there has been, at least for the past year, since I've been senior minister. Sharon came on board fairly recently, a little over a year now, something like that. Isn't she wonderful? And, she and her partner, Barbara, when I looked at who the musician was this week, I was so happy it was Sharon because they are nature beings, and everything about Sharon is art and beauty and connection with nature. So how perfect that she's here with us today, bringing her own original musical creations and her beautiful angelic voice here. It's, I didn't plan it that way. I didn't realize it was Earth Day when, she sent me her availability with the other musicians and I put her in this slot. But it's perfect, isn't it? So back to Earth Day. What is all of this? Being aware of our thoughts and our feelings, and being aware of our consciousness, our awareness, what does that have to do with protecting the earth? It has everything to do with it, right? Because if my awareness is aligned not with my lower self of shame and guilt and sadness and grief and anger and jealousy and all of those lower emotions, if I put my awareness on them, if they're there, and then they move out, they shift into a higher plane of awareness. then I can be more aligned with divine inspiration, with creativity. And I can open myself up ultimately to love. And what is care of the earth? It is love, is it not? What is more deserving of our love than the home that supports us here? You know, every bit of food that we eat, every sip of water that we drink, everything that's in our manifest world comes from the earth, even if it's manufactured from humans, even if it's made out of plastic. Ultimately, that came from the earth. We wouldn't be able to be here if it weren't for the earth. And in loving each other. If I'm of the earth, so are you. So if I love myself, I love you equally, right? That's where the oneness comes in. That's where the oneness comes in. You know, and Jesus said, first and foremost, honor thy father, right? So we all need to recognize that we are divine beings. And that is the truth of who we are. And I've talked about this many times, so I'm not going to go into it, but that's our higher self. That's our higher self, right? Once we are in devotion to spirit within and without, we bring that to ourselves. We need to love ourselves as well. And many of us aren't so good at that. I'm getting better at it. But I still find myself not being in that place of self-love. So it's a practice, you know, especially when things aren't going well, or we do something dumb or stupid. We all have those moments. What do? We turn on ourselves, don't we? But we're human. If we can love ourselves and say, okay, I made a mistake. I am a child of the divine. I love myself. Only then can we do the second part of what Jesus said, which is love thy neighbor as thyself. First, we need to love ourselves. Then we can love our neighbor. Right? So if I can love myself, then I can love you. And I do love you, each and every one of you. I know, thank you. All of you on Zoom as well. But, you know, I'm saying that lightheartedly, but it's really true. We need to, first of all, be in alignment with the truth of who we are, because this body will pass, but our spirit lives on. And then beyond that, love ourselves, love each other, love every being in the universe, plant, animal, the water, the earth. You know, native communities, indigenous communities respect nature as spirits. The plants have spirits, animals have spirits. The water is a spirit. The soil is a spirit. We don't have that recognition in our culture, but think about it. I did a meditation once in the forest, and I was in a class. It was a nature-based class, and my assignment was to go in the forest and sit for 2 hours with a tree. So I went to the Pinelands down Batstow, deep into the forest, and I sat there, and it was freezing. It was November, but you know, I'm always a good girl, so I was told to do it, so I had to do it. It was my homework. And I sat with this tree, and nothing happened for 2 hours, well, 1 hour and 55 minutes. I'm getting ready to go, just mentally, but I hadn't really moved. And all of a sudden, I'm looking at this tree, and I saw a face of a man, and he winked at me. Yeah, and, you know, it was the tree spirit. The tree was saying to me, nature was saying to me, I'm here, and I see you. And I still see the picture of this man. He almost looked like a little leprechaun, but it was just his face, and he had a hat on and a mustache. He was like a middle-aged man, and he winked at me. But many people have those kinds of experiences, right? We can feel nature. And, you know, in the Middle Ages, the Celtics believed in the green man. And that's what the tree spirits are. And if you go to Europe and look at many of the cathedrals and structures, you see images of the green man. because the workers still believed in the green man, even though the church was telling them they're not allowed to do that anymore. So, so the green man is still on these structures. But we've lost that connection with the earth. And many of us here have the intention to bring it back. And I'm going to close now because I'm probably going a little over, but the message I just want to give you is be one with yourself first. And who am I? You know, I am a child of the divine. You know, so first and foremost, devotion to spirit, whatever we call God, right? Once we're in that place of alignment and connection, then we can love ourselves, we can love everyone in the universe. We can have peace on earth. Thank you. Love you. Okay.
We are one living spirit, breathe as one. We are one living spirit, breathe as one. Through galaxies unseen, the pulse of every living thing, with a holy invocation, breathe as one. We are light at our center, breathe as one. We are light at our center, breathe as one. By flowing out and in, life sustains itself, amen. Trust the ebb and flow, begin to breathe as one. We are one living spirit, breathe as one. We are one living spirit, breathe as one. Through galaxies unseen, the pulse of every living thing, with a holy invocation, breathe as one. Through galaxies unseen, the pulse of every living thing, with a holy invocation, breathe as one. Breathe as one. Breathe as one. Breathe as one.
Yeah. So, perfect. We are one. Thank you. So we're at the offertory part of our service, and just remembering that we are one. So as we support this community, we're supporting ourselves, we're supporting each other, we're nurturing this community, actually. And it's an expression of love. I'll leave it at that. Thank you. Okay.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful.
Okay. Please repeat along with me. Thank you, God, for this abundance that is mine to share. I bless this gift and give it to thee in gratitude and joy, knowing that as I give, I do receive.
Gracias, Dios mío, por esta abundancia que es mía para compartirla. Te bendigo este regalo y te lo entrego a ti en júbilo y gratitud, sabedora de que el modo que yo doy, recibo.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, now we're blessed. Ready?
Yeah.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Thank you. Bless this offering and bless everyone because we are so blessed. May it increase tenfold. And thank you, God, for this source, infinite abundance that is ours to share. And so it is.
I have some announcements. First, announcements of gratitude, knowing that gratitude and appreciation opens us up to love. When we're open to love, we're open to anything. Right? So first to thank you, Jason, for officiating at service with me together. Thank you. And Sharon, my other partner here this morning. Thank you, Sharon. Our Zoom ministers, Reverend Ken and Renee, thank you for your support and just your weekly devotion. We're really grateful, really grateful. And our readers this morning, Jody and Arlen, thank you so much. Arlen had to leave early. Arlen also set up our refreshments this morning, and that was a lot of fun.
And I'm grateful
Altar.
for John.
Yeah, altar.
Always makes it easier.
Jody did the altar, right? Thank you. Bloom where you are planted. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's a starting point for sure. Thank you, Virgie. And Bonnie. Yes, thank you, Bonnie. And June, team leader of the ushers. Thank you. Our media team. Keith, our team leader, on camera today. And Marty and John is here with us today. Thank you, John. And thank you, Marty, for printing our Sunday documents. Okay, a few other announcements. We have a new class starting on May 18th. This is running Monday nights, May 18th through June 22nd, and it is an abundance class. And it's something really special, something we've never done before, but it's being facilitated by a religious science minister named Reverend Cheryl McCleary. And she is, in her professional life, she is an abundance coach and a teacher, and she works with corporate executives and corporate teams to really focus on principles of abundance and how to manifest in the world. And she's married those teachings with religious science principles and is offering it to New Thought churches. And so we've been in touch with her, and she is offering this wonderful class, which I am just thrilled about. So just read some of the blurbs about it. to bust through your money set point and transform your money story from lack to abundance. Shift into divine right relationship with money. This is everything we were talking about a few minutes ago, about aligning ourselves with divine wisdom and inspiration and moving out of discordance and disconnection. Manifest more money with ease and grace when we're in connection with divine right order and infinite abundance. We know the universe is infinitely abundant. So a little bit about Reverend Rochelle. She has coached Fortune 500 executives in transforming their relationship with money and creating new levels of abundance for themselves and their companies. So I am including CCL in, in this whole mix because I will be attending this class for myself and also for CCL. And I know other people in the CCL leadership team here will be doing the same. So, because CCL is an entity in its own right, as we all know. So I encourage you all to join. Okay, you can check our website. The registration link is on our website, and there's also some emails going out with the registration link. One went out this week, and there will be a few more. I believe the course fee is $297. I don't know what happened to the page that has that information, so I'm going from my memory, but I think it was $297. So for a 5-week course, I think it's 7 to 8:30. Wait a minute, maybe it's on this page.
It's on the website, 6:30 to 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I don't have the details here. They were in here and they're not now. But go on our website, newthoughtccl.org, Monday night starting May 18th. And it's really going to be a powerful experience. All right, we have our next mini Monday coming up, and Melissa Romero, and most of you know Melissa, she will be talking about the power of your inner voice, rewriting the story that shapes your reality. So how perfect for those of you in the Abraham class, and it's of course perfect for all of us, it just fits right in. Become aware of the inner dialogue guiding your choices. Learn the difference between truth and belief. Practice tools to shift limiting thoughts into supporting ones. So just what I was talking about a few minutes ago in different language. Many, many different ways to express truth. And next Sunday, May 3rd, we're doing something different here at service. And an email went out about that this week. We'll send another one as well. But once a year, and I believe it's on the first Sunday of May, St. Matthew Lutheran Church has a blessing of its pollinator garden. And we're going to be doing that next Sunday. So they do it right after their service, and their service ended 15 minutes ago, so they congregate out at the pollinator garden and have a blessing, which lasts about 15 minutes. And we've been invited to participate, especially since we are now the gardening ministry, essentially for a lot of the landscaping here in the gardens. So it will start, what we're going to do is start our service at 11:45 instead of 11:30, and we'll congregate out in the pollinator garden, which is over there. It's right near the street, the exit driveway if you drive around in a circle, but you'll see us all there if you come at 11:45 or a few minutes before, and there'll be a short 15-minute pollinator garden blessing. And then we'll come up here and have a brief service. We'll still end at the same time as we do regularly. So I invite all of you to come, especially those of you in the gardening ministry. And Janine has been active this week. She started up the gardening ministry. She met with the Buildings and Landscape Committee here on Tuesday morning at St. Matthew. And thank you, Navlet, for being with Janine on Friday to help clean out the Remembrance Garden, which is the front garden when you first come into St. Matthew. There's a big flowering dogwood tree, and right behind it is a garden. And Janine and Navlet were there just doing spring cleanup. And you're all invited to join them again next Friday morning, 9 to 10 o'clock. All you need to do is show up with your gardening gloves. Just a reminder about the kindness challenge. You can talk to Holly about that more, but we have a kindness challenge box at the back of the room, and we're seeking to have documented evidence of 250 acts of kindness by July 4th in remembrance and celebration of America's 250th birthday. I think that's, yeah, we're good. Okay, so it's time for us to circle up. Okay.
Micah. Yeah.
I didn't realize we were coming right off the top. Apologies.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Thank you, Sharon. All right, let's all just bask in that beautiful energy and taking a nice deep breath in and centering ourselves, knowing that God is at the center of us. God is our source that is in and through and around all of us in all of these happenings. And we know it is the source that drives our lives. God is life. And we have thanks for this service, for this time to share this blessing of life, our health, to be here, to be in His joyous celebration in the community. And we just say thank you, and may we all continue to carry this loving energy forward into the week and to share it with all who we encounter. And so it is.
Thank you. Thank you, Jason. Jason, soon to be a practitioner here at CCL. Thank you, Jason. Yeah. So in concluding our service, I invite each of us to remember those monks that walked for peace this week and over the many months here in the United States, and remember that we can walk for peace as well. So we can have that consciousness as we walk through our world. So let's remember that as we say, something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
It is this thing called life. Life is in my body. Life is in my mind. Life is in all of my activities. I receive it. I share it. I am it. And I accept it. How do I accept it?
Just the way that it is.
Thank you, life. And in accepting all of these gifts, we say yes. Thank you, everyone.